checking out today the legendary Peavey 5150. Managed to find a really cheap one a couple of weeks ago, so it has arrived. This is a 91 model, signature edition. So if you know the stories of the Peaveys, the first, I don't know, the first year or so, the first few hundred, whatever, had EVH in block letters down there, and apparently there was some legal action from EV speakers, and so Peavey just said, we'll just change it, easy. So they've put the signature on the front. Same amp, legend has it, it's exactly the same amp as the block letters, but myth and rumours get out there and people think they sound different. They don't sound different. They are literally the same circuit boards using the same parts and things. So it's as good as the original thing. Obviously the 5152 that Peavey made did change a few little things, but this is the original. So we've got two channels and we've got two inputs. I need to go into the high gain. And so yeah, we've got two channels. We've got like a clean sort of dirty type sound, either or, not both at the same. So you can't switch between clean and dirty. And then we've got a lead channel. We've got, you know, low, mids and highs. We've got preamp gain, post preamp sort of volume. No master volume, strangely. The EVH amps seem to be consistent in that there is no master volume across the whole amp chain. And then we've got a resonance and presence for the power amp section. It does have an effects loop on the back, and a foot switch to go from channel 1 to channel 2. So look, I've set it up just to get us started with Eddie's settings. This is the way he used to run it, taken from Guitar World magazine, I think it was, many years ago. So we've got gains on about 5.5, 6 on both channels, and volumes are both on about 4.5. So he runs them pretty much the same sort of gain and the same sort of volumes. But obviously the lead channel has a lot more gain, so you'll hear that in a minute. The EQ section, we've got lows about 6.5 maybe. Mids are really low. Mids are on about 2. Probably a little bit too low for my personal taste, but it is what it is. And highs are on about 5. Look, we'll play with all this later, but just to give you a bit of a starting point. So that is our rhythm channel. Bit of gain there, and obviously when you're playing live, I think when Eddie would have been using these volume on 4, there'd be a bit of volume there happening, a little bit of power amp distortion, maybe not too much, but there'd certainly be a bit of volume, and you know, you'll get natural feedback and sustain through the whole amp and guitar and stuff. We've got the bright switch on. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Let's turn the crunch off. So still a pretty, you know, decent sort of rock and roll tone there. As we keep saying, the gain's running at sort of 6 or there, so you're going to get a little bit of break up. We'll go back. We'll have a listen to the lead channel. Now there's a little bit of noise. I think that's natural for any sort of high gain amp, you know, a little bit of a noise gate will fix that. ounce of gain, and like we're at barely over halfway. So that's obviously what this amp is famous for. Let's have a play around with the buttons and all that sort of junk and see what we're going back to the crunch channel. The gain is on about 4 there. And this is way too much, but I've put it up to about, no, I'm going to put it to 9. Let's see what it does at 9. Pretty good, yeah, I like it. We'll put that back to about 6. Let's play with the lows, mids and highs and just see what it does, because like I said, the mids are really, really low. Okay, mids. You know, personally, I'm going to leave it about 3. I think the mids just sound right to me, about 3. And for me, highs, I'm probably going to back everything back a bit. I think the lows, I'm going to take back a tiny bit. And the highs, maybe even just back a tiny bit. That's just me, just my settings. Master volume, we're not going to touch that too much because, you know, it is what it is. The power amp section, the resonance is where it's really happening here. So we're already getting a fair bit of bottom end happening. And the resonance is really only running on like about 4, but let's see what it does. So I think 4 feels about right for there. The presence. Again, I'd probably personally just roll that back a bit. I'm going to take that back to about 4, I think. Let's see what it sounds like. Forgot to mention, obviously using the EVH Wolfgang Special. This is Japanese made, not the Mexican made. So look, if you do find a Japanese made EVH, just grab them. They're amazing. Really great quality, amazing value for money. Japanese stuff is where it's at. Anyway, to finish up, yeah, there's the 5150, the original Peavey. Cheers.